Sunday. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Can you hear me? Hey, put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Hold on a second here. I can't hear myself. Put a one in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good evening, depending upon where you are in the country. Good evening, good evening. Rhonda, Loretta, I see you in these YouTube streets. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to get in here while I make sure I have all my assets around me. Make sure my sound is good. I'm feeling good. I just started some spring cleaning. Well, I didn't really do a lot of spring cleaning. I shampooed my carpet. I have white carpet all throughout, and I had to make sure it was right. You know, I have this policy about you can't even come in the house without taking your shoes off. I had somebody came in last week and they kept their shoes on. I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, you have to get up out of here. You got to get up out of here. I have a whole stand in front of the door. You put your shoes there. They probably didn't have any socks on. The feet might have been dirty. I don't know. I don't know what it was, but I'm like, wait a minute. Get your feet off the white carpet. My mother used to do that to me. My mother did that to me, but my grandmother used to have plastic on all the furniture. I used to wonder as I was growing up, why is this all this plastic? And it's not the light plastic. It was that thick plastic. Nice furniture, but she had thick plastic on it. I always wondered why the plastic. When you buy the furniture, you sit in the store, you try it out, you sit in there, it feels good. You feel the material, and then you spend all this money. And back in that day, they used to pay on time. If anyone know what pay on time mean, that means you put a little money down and you pay on time. So maybe that's why they had the plastic on it because they know, we were just sitting there eating on the furniture and everything. So I get it. But I ain't got no plastic on my furniture. And I hope no one else does in 2024 have plastic on their furniture. But listen, that plastic was thick. You know how it was. Oh, you sit on like, oh, this is, and then in the summertime, my grandfather used to watch the baseball game on Sundays, and we were sitting in the summertime because baseball's in the summer. So I'm like, how the heck we sit on this plastic in the summertime watching baseball? I grew up in New York. I grew up in the Bronx, so I lived probably about 9 blocks from Yankee Stadium. He was an avid baseball fan, and he wanted me to sit there and watch it with him. I'm like, granddad. Anyway, but I just thought about it. So I do my little spring cleaning, get it out the way real early. Because once the trees start blooming and the bushes start growing, then you got to start hedging and you start. It's a bunch of work, but it's exercise for me. Sometimes I let the landscapers do it, but other times I just like to get out and do it. Trimming everything up nicely. Anyway, that's my life. Anyway, we're in here. We're in here today. We're in here. We have 3 topics to discuss today, and I was doing a little research. I was also consulting with some legal minds on one of the cases, and that the big case that just passed was the Eligio Bishop Nature Boy. But before we get into that case, I have 2 other stories I want to talk about. Well, 2 of them were kind of long. So if you guys are going to be here for the long haul, put the 1 in the chat. Put the 1 in the chat if you're going to be here for the long haul. If you're just here for one story, post the name of the story that you're here for that we want to talk about. And depending upon what the consensus is, that's the story we're going to roll with. So there are 3 topics, 3 different subjects. We have Ernesto Williams, Nesto, or some call him Nasty Nesto. We have Eligio Bishop, aka Nature Boy, Baba G, and then we have Young Thugga. I want to see what's the consensus here. I see Nesto. Now you got to put the 1s in there. This is names. You got to put names in there. We doing a count right now. I see Nesto. I see Nature Boy. I see Nesto. Okay. Nesto. Hold on. Okay, I know what. Okay, see, I've been promising the Nesto clip, and people been waiting for that clip. Where's the Nesto clip at? Where's the Nesto clip? Okay, so we got Nesto. We're gonna start with Nesto. Now, see, if I start with Nesto, you're gonna run out here. Thanks for letting me know. You're gonna hit you. Well, thugga. Okay, Nesto. Man, the Nestos are okay. We're gonna get into some things. Okay, so the reason why I have Nesto in the thumbnails because I was listening to shout out to Grown Woman Vibes over there. Uh, you gotta check out her platform. She dropped a video, uh, and the title of the video is our latest video where she talks about Nesto and his kids, and perhaps someone may be complicit and might and probably allegedly tampering with a witness. And this is why we got to talk about this. We got to talk about this because I was in the courtroom. I fought pretty hard to get in the courtroom to be able to record that particular bond hearing. And the Judge Kimberly Adams, shout out to Judge Kimberly Adams. Boy, Judge Kimberly Adams, you gave me some work, Judge. You really gave me some work. I was ready. Get up out of here. What are you talking about? You never heard of me. How dare you? How dare you, Judge? I've been thrown out of better places. No, I'm just kidding, Judge. I was about to walk out that place if my legal eagle said, Dennis, come down, listen what you just got to say. I'm about to go near another courtroom. I was never been treated like this. Which I sat down there and waited and listened, and it worked out. It worked out. It was about the whole Rule 22. We went over that. We talked about the fight I had to do to get up in there. It worked out. But I want to talk about what I heard on Grown Woman Vibes. And there was a phone call from prison. She pulled the calls. So it's two YouTubers. One pulls the calls. The other one does the recaps on it. And that's phone calls from prison. Shout out to phone calls from prison. You're doing a good job. I will never step on your toe. You keep doing what you do. I'll stand back in the cuts and just listen. I don't really pull phone jail calls. It's not my spelo, but I will listen to it. I'm a little nosy now. What are they talking about in there? But I'm really, I'm only listening to it because it's a part of the story I'm covering. With that said, grown woman Nyla from Grown Woman Vibes, she had played the audio of one of the latest calls and it appears it was post bond hearing where you heard Ernest Williams, Nesto, talk to one of his daughters. I don't know which one, but during that conversation, it appears that he's signaling and talking in code. We catch the code. He says in reference to one of the sibling that is a part of his particular case. And if those who had followed, and I'm going to play I'm not going to play the whole portion. I'm going to play the latter part of what some of you guys didn't get a chance to hear. I think it was probably a few minutes of what the judge had said. But in that call that was made through I guess maybe a jail visit or phone call, but it was a phone call. It was a phone call. It wasn't a jail. It was a phone call. You could hear him saying something to the effect of your sibling, almost like go, get at her. She's acting reckless. Don't believe the people. That's kind of witness tampering, and I think he has to be very careful because when you're on a call and you even alluding to trying to communicate with in this case, she's an outcry victim. The judge says specifically not to contact any of the victims and or outcry victims or witnesses. And apparently, he may have not got the message. And I'm going to play the judge's instruction post bond hearing, just before the bond hearing. I'm going to play that. And we just want to just put in perspective and let's dive into whether or not you believe he might have crossed the line. Bring up the clip.
Discretion denied on the defendant's motion for bond at that time. The matter is back before the court today for reconsideration and based on the representation of the state concerning its intentions relative to the presentation of the formal charges to the grand jury. and the fact that Mr. Williams has now been in custody for 232 days, the court believes that he is in fact still entitled to a bond, and a bond should be granted in this instance. However, the court has some serious concerns regarding the history, even though the last conviction, as was properly pointed out by Ms. Rondon, was in 2006, and it has been several years. The state recited at least 4 outstanding warrants in various jurisdictions, in addition to providing victim impact statements from alleged victims to the crimes that Mr. Williams has been arrested for, which he's been arrested. And so in light of all of those considerations, the court hereby sets bond as follows. As to what appears on the court's calendar as count number 1, which is aggravated sexual battery, the court sets a $100,000 bond. As to count 2, rape, the court sets a $100,000 bond. As to count 3, aggravated sodomy, the court sets a $50,000 bond. As to count 4, sexual battery misdemeanor, the court sets a $5,000 bond. And as to count 5, trafficking a person for sexual servitude, the court sets a $150,000 bond. That's a total bond of $400,000. Sets a total bond of $405,000. Should the defendant make bond, he will be subject to additional conditions of bond. Among those conditions are that he shall have no contact whatsoever with the alleged victim in this case, the 3 additional outcry witnesses, and the 4th alleged witness in the financial crime. I think all of those names have been provided by the state. Representative Yakin? You're talking to me, not the whole court, right? All right. If you'll write those names down, Ms. Winfrey, and provide them to the litigation manager. The court is further going to require that the defendant shall surrender his passport. He will be subject further to the requirement that he shall surrender any weapons. He shall have no social media presence. He must reside in the state of Georgia in this. And while I am not imposing a house arrest condition, I am going to direct that the defendant shall wear an ankle monitor at his own expense so that he can be tracked. Any questions from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else on behalf of the state?
No, Your Honor.
Right. That will be the order of the court. Mr. Williams, your case remains unindicted. I am simply presiding over the matter in the interim until an indictment is returned. You've heard the state's representation that they do intend to present these charges to the grand jury, and I have no idea at this point to whom the case will be assigned. But until such time as the case is assigned, is indicted and assigned to an elected judge, the matter will be presided over by this court. Any questions? All right. There's nothing more. That will be the order of the court. This matter is adjourned.
So it's clear that for me, it's clear he understood, because when the judge asked, was there any questions? Like, hey, Your Honor, can I talk to one of my daughters to be able to communicate with one of the other? It was no ambiguity there, in my opinion. Plus, the lawyer didn't say anything to bring anything to the court's attention that would be necessitate him being able to communicate with uh, others. So I don't know. This seems like you are trying to piss the judge off. This seems like you were trying to piss the judge off. You might be trying to piss the judge off. In addition, he speaks about raising the 400,000 through by way of property, and he says some other things. I don't want to go too much into it. I'll say go to Grown Woman Vibes and check out the latest video she posted on that particular subject matter. But I just think that any reference to any of the outcry victims on a phone call, it's kind of stupid. It's kind of stupid. These judges are not stupid, nor the people who monitor these calls are stupid. And immediately listening to it, I said, wait a minute. Is he trying to reach out to the sibling or the daughter through one of the other daughters? I don't know. It doesn't make much sense. But then again, none of those charges as he has makes much sense. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I was also sent a screenshot. I don't know why this is so interesting. I want to pull it up. Let's see how this thing looks. Hold on a second, guys. This is kind of funny. I won't pull it up. I won't put it on the screen, but I'll just say someone said also, a certain YouTuber said, hey, I visited this guy, my third time visiting this guy, and he cried. He cried? And that's newsworthy that he cried? Is this person like literally losing her mind? You visited the person, he cried. Wow. I saw that. I'm like, no way. Man, I didn't help you get out for you to be doing that weird stuff. What the heck's going on? What the heck is going on? You just got out of lockup. You gotta, and like, you, man, I tell you, you know what they say about jailbirds? They want to fly back home. 3 times you visited this man. Have you visited the victims? Nah, I don't think we want to do that. But we're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there. I said if you make yourself content, I might talk about it. If you make yourself content, I might talk about it. Don't make any sense. That don't make any sense, and something else don't make any sense. And we're gonna go to our next story. We're going to our next story. We're going to talk about Thugger Thugger. I don't listen. This is going to come together. You Nesto folks, stay around. It gets better. It gets better. Why is a member of the media, quote unquote, journalist, walking around wearing this? I'm gonna have to go there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna have to go there. I'm gonna have to go there. Why is a member of the media wearing this? What? Free Young Thug? Why? If the guy's innocent, I want him free. But as a journalist, I am not wearing a Free Young Thug t-shirt after receiving a Rule 22 from the judge. What the heck is going on? You're wearing a Free Thug t-shirt. Wait a minute. What is going on? What is going on? You're wearing a Free Thug t-shirt representing that you're part of the media. It's not one journalist covering this trial wearing a Free Thug t-shirt. And not to say I think there is a reason should get a bond, but I'm not willing to free anybody covering a case. I'm like, what the heck is going on? I just had to ask the question, ladies and gentlemen. I just had to ask the question. Does this even like free young thug? I mean, I said you were the YSL blogger, but I didn't know you was a part of the YSL. What the hell's going on? What are you trying to do here? Catch another case? Oh my goodness. I don't know. I'm just asking the question, man. I'm not. You said I'm not being petty. I'm just like when someone said this to me, I'm like, wait a minute, what the heck is going on here? Like, I get it. You had a YSL lawyer. You covered a YSL trial, but you don't got to wear a free Young Thug T-shirt. What is that all about? What part of the game is that? Oh my goodness, man! When Judge Glanville see that T-shirt, he go like, what the heck's going on? And no, wait, hold on. And those deputies, they gonna look at you sideways. You got a whole free Young Thug T-shirt. I ain't listen. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe I should walk in there with a free Thug T-shirt with my cameras on. No. They ain't gonna listen. They gonna be watching me. yo, imagine me walking in there in the Trump case. Let me just use Trump as an example. With a justice for Fonnie Willis as I'm taking the pictures. They gonna look at me like I'm crazy. I can see Attorney Steve sat out looking at me like, Mr. Byron, what are you doing here? What is this? I can see one of the other attorneys representing Rudy Giuliani, Mark Meadow, looking at me crazy. We do not, as members of the press, hold on a second. Wants to show notification. I don't know what that's all about. I just got a weird notification. I don't know what that's about. We don't wear paraphernalia related to a case that we're covering. If you're a protester, activist, okay, say you are. But don't come around playing with the real reporters. Come in the media room with a free throw. It's all listen. I'm just calling as I see it. Something's not adding up. It makes no sense. I don't know why I'm getting this weird notification. I'm not clicking on it. I don't know what that's all about. But let me see here. Hold on a second here. Hold on. Let me put this up here. And I want to say something else. Oh, it's still Tamper. Okay, thank you. Okay, I didn't hear that. Because he said on Monday. Well, the bond hearing was it Monday? No, it was Friday. Okay, you're right. But that's the way they played that, it was like, wait a minute. I hope he's not tampering. But thank you, Jen. I appreciate you. I need to hear the more updated calls because maybe he's not doing that. Okay. Thank you, Jen. The other thing I saw was that individual was in jail during her birthday, unfortunately. But one of the gifts that she received when she came on was a picture of R. Kelly, a nice framed picture of R. Kelly. And I think she said she's going to hang it on the wall. And her daughter says, very smart young lady, she says, Mom, why would you want to hang his picture on the wall? You have a whole husband. You want to hang a picture of R. Kelly in your house? I don't know. This thing's not really. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe her husband's cool with it. Maybe you're hanging in the bedroom. Where you gonna hang in the bedroom? Picture R. Kelly in the bedroom with you and your husband. Where you gonna hang that picture at? I'm just curious. Anyway, I'm not really. I mean, listen. It's okay. It's okay. No, it's not. No, it's not okay. It's kind of crazy, you ask me, but hey, I digress. Hey, listen, I don't know what the reason for. I don't know, but the daughter did say the daughter kind of checked the mom. Said, "Listen, mom, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't, you putting that kind of energy, hanging it on the wall. You know, I mean, I got a picture of Barack Obama in my piano room. So maybe am I? Well, he's a former president. I got a picture of Barack in the house. I might have a picture of Trump in there too. I might have a picture of I don't know. When I was growing up, listen, when I was growing up, I'll tell you, I think we had a picture. See, if I tell you that, I'm gonna tell you. I ain't gonna tell you what I had. My mother had in the house. We're just gonna leave that alone because you guys, you're real quick. They'll start googling that president. What, Negro? You that old? No, I'm not gonna tell you what picture he had hung in the living room because I didn't know who that was. I'm like, who that white guy in there? It was John Kennedy, John F. Kennedy. It was Kennedy. It was Kennedy. But yeah, I still got a picture of Barack in the house. I know you don't like him and everything, but it's it's inspiring. It's inspiring to see a black man rise to the level of the president of the United States. I mean, don't listen. Hey, and he's actually the only one. If you really let's be honest, that had no besides what's happened in um, Africa. Well, we're probably going to hold off there because people are going to attack me for that. But he has some issues in his administration. He has some issues. Let's be honest. He has some issues. The whole Gaddafi thing was a problem for me, and I'm still interested into why that went down like that. But we're going to talk about that later. Wait a minute. You see, he got a whole. I don't listen. Hey, I don't know. Maybe he went out there to check on that TK's bank account. And y'all know what I'm talking about when I say TK's bank account. Maybe he was out there to help make sure the money's moving smoothly out there. But for me, I don't think so. I don't really think so. Anyway, we're gonna talk about some of the testimony before we get into Nature Boy. I want to talk about some of the testimony that happened. Not even talk about. I want to play some of the video of the last week's testimony in Young Thug's trial and how the prosecutor might have made a miscalculation on bringing a particular witness on the stand. I want you guys to watch this testimony and tell me what you got from it because I don't know if I got a lot from this and I don't know what the whole play of that was, but we're going to find out. Let's just look at this. This happened this past last week. Play the clip.
K on his forehead, but I'm going to see if I can find it.
No, ma'am.
Do you remember the detective or a detective at the Atlanta Police Department asking you, why'd you wait on DK after he was shooting? Why didn't you just leave him?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember saying to a detective during an interview at the Atlanta Police Department in September 2013 that you were pissed off with DK?
No, ma'am.
During September 2013, did you have a Camry that you were driving?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember a detective asking you whether Thug was in your black Camry earlier when he went to check on that lick?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember telling a detective in September 2013 that no, Thug wasn't in your black Camry earlier when he went to check on the lick?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember a detective in 2013, September, at the Atlanta Police Department, asking you when Thug went up to Ken's shop, was he using your car or another black Camry? Do you remember a detective asking you that?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember telling a detective in a September 2013 interview at the Atlanta Police Department, Thug got a black Challenger?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember a detective, specifically Detective Quinn, asking you during an interview in September 2013 whether Thug had his own car?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember responding to a question about Thug having his own car? Thug has a black Challenger.
No, ma'am.
Do you remember a detective in September 2013 asking you, when did you first see the uniformed police officer that fired the gun, or whether or not you even saw it?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember telling a detective in a September
Deputy District Attorney
2013
Adrian Love,
at the Atlanta
this
Police
guy's giving you
Department,
nothing.
Man, I don't even remember the police getting there.
No, ma'am.
Do you remember Detective Quinn asking you in a September 2013 interview, did you ever hear the police give a command?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember Detective Quinn asking you, did you see a police officer?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember telling Detective Quinn that you did not see a police officer?
No, ma'am. I don't remember.
You do not?
I don't remember.
Do you remember a detective asking you in a September 2013 interview, did you knowingly ram the cop's vehicle trying to leave? Did you know you hit it?
No, ma'am.
And do you remember telling a detective in a September 2013 interview that no, you didn't knowingly ram a cop's vehicle while trying to leave Summerhill?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember telling a detective in a September 2013 interview that it was the cop that bumped you?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Do you remember a detective, specifically Detective Quinn, asking you during a September 2013 interview whether it was fair to say that the cops tried to block you in to stop you from leaving?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Do you remember Detective Quinn asking you in a September 2013 interview, why didn't you stop when you saw the car that the police were in?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember telling Detective Quinn in a September 2013 interview you didn't know it was a cop because you did not see a uniformed cop?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember Detective Quinn or any other detective at the Atlanta Police Department asking you in a September 2013 interview, who'd you see in the car that pulled in front of your car? Y'all are nose to nose. Do you remember Detective Quinn or any other detective asking you that?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember telling Detective Quinn that you saw two females and that was all you saw?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember Detective Quinn asking you whether you were running from two females?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember Detective Quinn asking you whether you thought maybe the two females were cops?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember telling Detective Quinn that you were thinking that maybe when the car stopped that the two females were in, you didn't know whether they were going to one of the buildings or what was going on, but you knew that you were going to go around them?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall Detective Quinn asking you in a September 2013 interview, did you think the two females were trying to stop you from leaving the scene where the gunfire was?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember telling Detective Quinn that you thought you were going around a car that's still moving, and this car just hit all of a sudden?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember telling Detective Quinn during a September 2013 interview when asked, did you hear any commands? I ain't hearing no freeze, get out, let me see your hands. I heard none of that. Do you remember saying that?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember telling Detective Quinn during a September 2013 interview, I ain't heard no shots go off by no police officer?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember Detective Quinn asking you whether anybody in the car with you mentioned that the two females were the police?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember Detective Quinn asking you whether out of all four people, or the three others besides yourself in the car, whether either one of them ever said anything about the police?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember telling Detective Quinn neither Big Fred nor anybody else said anything? There was a 12 shot or anything like that. Do you remember saying something like that during an interview with the police in September 2013?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember Detective Quinn asking you in a September 2013 interview about you all having gone through the yard, having hit all those tricycles, and that there could have been kids on those bikes?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember telling Detective Quinn that you could have lost your own life?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember Detective Quinn telling you during a September 2013 interview that you all cleared a police car backed under the wall and just missed it?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall Detective Quinn asking you about a phone call with your wife wherein you said, "Why did I get involved with those young motherfuckers?" over and over again?
I don't recall, ma'am.
Do you recall telling Detective Quinn that the people in the car with you were gangbangers, but that you don't gangbang?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember Detective Quinn telling you that he had to go talk to the people that were in the car with you again?
Your Honor, objection, basis, hearsay, in reproach. Okay.
The fact that they had to approach, and this guy is giving nothing. He's giving nothing. And someone said this reminds them of the Bradley testimony, Terrence Bradley in the Fonnie Willis case. Definitely does. I know they look at Max Shaw. You know this is hilarious. I don't know. Did they prepare this witness? This is a prosecution witness. Did they prepare this witness? Because he clearly doesn't want to be there. And to his defense, it's been over 11 years. It's been 11 years. He said, I mean, you don't really have to do a lot of rehearsing to say no, ma'am. But she has to put a little swag in her questioning. Is it true that you're wearing a mask today? No, ma'am. Well, Your Honor, I object. He's lying on the stand. You got to do something different. But this is not going anywhere. What I think she's doing is trying to show the jurors that there are people that, and she said this during her opening. If you remember what Attorney Adrian Love, Deputy District Attorney Adrian Love said there's going to be people that will come in that don't want to testify, that will have a lapse of memory. I guess she's talking about this guy because he doesn't remember anything. So she's kind of told she said that this is an opening, but see the thing about asking questions, she's got it out there. She's leaving the jurors to ponder. Now, how the defense cross-examines him, which I think they probably shouldn't say anything, because if he's not giving anything, why add to what he's not giving? Because it is going to open a can of worms. You know, and maybe they may say something to the effect that you don't want to be here, or do you want to be here? And we don't know what his response is going to be, but I see why she's putting those questions out there because she wants to ask a series of questions to be able to plant a seed in the juror's mind. Right. Do you know your ABCs? No, ma'am. Oh my goodness. So their sidebar. Let's just let's get past this line of questioning and see if she's able to score any points. Because right now she's not doing getting anything in there. Hold on. We go about right here. Thugga thugga. Okay. Yep, back on the stand. Let's go. Come on now. Did we lose our sound?
Detective.
Oh, okay, we back. Okay. You can tell from his body language he doesn't want to be there. Get about right here. Okay.
Do you recall Detective Quinn asking you or speaking to you and telling you that he needed to go find a picture of the person you were calling Thug?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall expressing concern about Detective Quinn putting you on blast?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall telling Detective Quinn that putting you on blast would make things difficult for you?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember talking to Detective Quinn about going to jail and telling your wife what went on?
No, ma'am.
If all the witnesses testify like this, the prosecution's case is
Do
in
you
the
recall
dumpster.
telling Detective Quinn, do you recall Detective Quinn asking you, how does that work on the street? If it's their move, do they get more money than you, or do they get the same? Do you recall Detective Quinn asking you that?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall telling Detective Quinn that it was DK's and Thug's move?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall telling Detective Quinn that everyone in the car was probably going to split the proceeds of the robbery evenly?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall telling Detective Quinn in the Atlanta Police Department in September 2013 that you had been robbed 4 times in 2013?
No, ma'am.
Wait a minute. You got robbed 4 times. You don't remember
Do
that?
you recall Detective Quinn asking you whether you knew who the persons that robbed you were?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall telling Detective Quinn that you were not going to tell him who robbed you?
I don't recall.
Do you recall telling Detective Quinn that it is what it is? We out hustling in these streets. You can't pick up the phone and call the police and tell the police I got robbed. Do you recall telling Detective Quinn that during a September 2013 interview?
I don't recall, ma'am.
Now I met
Do you
Detective
recall
Quinn
Detective Quinn asking you,
on other
why didn't you
cases.
call it off? Even though you weren't sure whether the people in the car, the females in the car, were cops, why didn't you call it off?
No, ma'am.
So here's the problem with this. Detective Quinn, I don't know if anyone's been watching the testimony of Detective Vasquez early on, but Detective Quinn and Detective Vasquez is a part of a cop show. And Detective Quinn was probably one of the top detectives in Atlanta covering some major cases. He retired back in 2017, I believe. And one of the cases that I covered, he was a witness, and I want to say that was the in the the death of uh uh Lil Fat. I want to say Lil Fat. No, correction. It wasn't Lil Fat. It was Slim Duncan. Slim Duncan was a protege of Waka Flocka, and Detective Quinn was on the stand. He's a seasoned detective, so he's probably going to come in and he does good on the witness stand. So he's going to come in, and then she's going to ask him about the questions that she's asked him. Now, will the cops believe him or to believe the person who doesn't have memory? And they're probably going to go through a whole line of questioning and start talking about the crime, and he's going to pretty much show this guy why he just say he don't have a recollection. Not having a recollection is not a crime. Saying something and then get caught in the lie is possibly perjury. So I think they're going to call Detective Quinn. He's going to be probably one of the next witnesses because you cannot let this witness get off the stand without setting it up for the next witness. So I think Detective Quinn is on the witness list, as a matter of fact. If I had to look at the witness list, but he's probably coming in. But it's just interesting that he's not giving anything to the prosecution.
Do you recall telling Detective Quinn that you didn't know that they were cops in the car in response to the question I just asked you about in September 2013?
No, ma'am.
Damn.
Do you recall Detective Quinn asking you who went in the gate first, you or the Taurus?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall telling Detective Quinn during a September 2013 interview that the Taurus was in the gate first?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall telling Detective Quinn that you were behind the Taurus?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall telling Detective Quinn that the Taurus went straight back in the back of the cars?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall Detective Quinn asking you how long was it before the Taurus showed back up in that scene where the gunfire happened?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall telling Detective Quinn, what did I say? Man, DK started shooting at that cop.
No, ma'am.
Do you recall Detective Quinn telling you that had DK not started shooting and just robbed Dirty Red, the police would have never known what was up?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall Detective Quinn asking you whether Dirty Red was robbing you all, whether he was trying to rob you all who were in the car?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall telling Detective Quinn, no? Are you saying Red robbed us?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall telling Detective Quinn during a September 2013 interview that you and Dirty Red go way back and that you used to go to his mom's house?
No, ma'am.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, what I just realized is in the case I referenced involving Detective Quinn, something he said in that testimony he was giving on the stand on the other case is that he always records his in-person interviews. It was a time that he had visited Miss Deb Walker's mother, and he said he had recorded the conversation. So the question is, does he still have the recording of him questioning him? Because it's been over 11 years ago. And if so, will that become a piece of evidence? And maybe the prosecutor's going to say, Detective Quinn, do you still have those recordings? So it's kind of interesting that he's saying all this and don't realize that he may be confronted with this through the next witness testimony. We have to see.
Do you recall telling Detective Quinn that you didn't realize it was Dirty Red that they were about to do the move on?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall telling Detective Quinn?
It sounds like this guy ate the cheese. He's on the stand. He had a Tekashi 6ix9ine moment, and he ate the cheese. And now he might be confronted with the cheese that he ate back then. I don't know.
That if you had known it was Dirty Red, the robbery would have never happened anyway?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall telling Detective Quinn you knew that the person they were going to rob was Red, but if you had seen the real Red, if you had seen him running, you'd have told him, hold up, and told DK, you tripping, these are my people, these are my people?
No, ma'am.
I don't know. This witness might in fact hurt Young Thug. Can anyone see this witness actually hurting Young Thug? Because unlike Tick was helping Thug while not helping Thug. Tick was correcting misstatements by the prosecution, where this guy's saying no to everything. And I think that may, in fact, hurt a Young Thug. I think it'll hurt Young Thug because all they need is to bring in the cop, the veteran, retired cop who's on a TV show and being praised. He's got all kind of awards from APD. I don't know. This witness might in fact, and this is interesting that she knows this witness is not giving anything, but she's putting them on the stand anyway to be able to show one of the things, because during closing arguments, she's going to reference this witness. And people are going to remember this guy because he's saying the consistent same thing. No, ma'am, no, ma'am. And then she's going to say to the jury, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we seen the witness, this guy who was a part of a robbery, a driver of some sort, and he's constantly said, no, ma'am, but we have the detective who came in and refuted what he said. Oh, he didn't say. So I don't know. I think this witness might hurt Thug.
Is there a Dirty Red that you considered your people back in September 2013?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall Detective Quinn asking you whether you thought it was another Red who had that check?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall telling Detective Quinn during a September 2013 interview that, yes, sir, you thought it was another Red who had the check, who had the money?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall telling Detective Quinn in a September 2013 interview that you know the deal with your folks?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall Detective Quinn asking you, are they a gang? What gang are they?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall Detective Quinn asking you whether you know where Dirty Red lives?
No, ma'am.
Here's another problem. You remember early on, it was a whole issue about protecting witnesses and not shooting witnesses because their life might be in danger. Well, based on the line of questioning that the prosecution is having right now, no one might have known this guy was cooperating with the police. Now his face is everywhere And some people probably went to jail because of that case. But now it's being revealed that this guy had a whole conversation with one of the lead detectives in this case involving Young Thug. So I don't know. Are they just setting up witnesses for? I don't know. This is kind of weird because if you know this guy's not giving you anything, you've pre-screened him, but you put him on the stand anyway. I don't know. This is definitely putting this guy's life at risk.
Do you recall talking to Detective Quinn about an apartment which Detective Quinn asked you about it being a trap?
I don't recall.
Do you recall telling Detective Quinn that you knew that Red didn't live in the apartments you all were talking about, but that you knew his mom?
I don't recall.
So let's see how much line
Do you
of question.
recall-
Oh, let's see. So this guy's been on the stand for almost an hour. He's on the stand for an hour. I'm scrolling. I'm already past an hour and 7 minutes. This guy's on the stand. He's still on the stand. Hold on, stand by. Hold on.
Backed out, turned around, backed up, and by the time they tried to turn around and get out, they ran and hit you, boom.
No, ma'am, I don't recall that.
Do you remember telling your wife and Brody that 12 bumped the car you were in?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember telling your wife and Brody that you rushed clean through the goddamn gate, through Summerdale on the opposite side, boom, he's shooting through the car, boom, 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 boom. Do you remember telling them that?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember telling your wife and Brody during the September 11, 2013 jail call from the Fulton County booking at Rice Street? I'm talking about the bullet come straight clean through the window, damn near like went through my head. Do you remember telling them that?
No, ma'am.
Oh, so they might have a phone call from jail.
During a September 11, 2013 call from booking at the Fulton County Jail. I believe one of them niggas in the back shot Big Cuz, man. Do you remember telling them that?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember telling your wife and Brody that DK had to shoot cuz 2 or 3 shots went off in the car while y'all were jumping them hills and shit? Do you remember telling them that?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember telling your wife and Brody during a jail call in September 2013 that you were glad one of them niggas didn't hit you in the head and shoot you?
No, ma'am.
Oh boy.
Do you remember telling your wife and Brody that
This is
Thug
about to
probably
be
shot
the.
Big Cuz
This is
Big Fred,
probably
because
end.
he-
Hold on, let's see here. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So this is just one of the witnesses that clearly doesn't have any recollection to whatever took place in 2011, and it's safe to to guess that Detective Quinn is coming in. His name's been mentioned so much, and they're going to bring him in. So I don't know. This right here, this is going to probably backfire, and not for the prosecution either, because these. How does she know about the jail call if it wasn't a part of the record? How would she know that? But he's saying he don't recall, so he might as well be. They might as well say this guy's he's a hostile witness. I don't know. Let's remove that here. All right, so tomorrow trial resumes in the young Thug case, and I'm probably going to be in the courtroom in the afternoon. I don't know. I have to see. But that case will resume, and we want to go right into what happened last week in the Nature Boy's case, and why I believe that based on what happened towards the end of testimony, Nature Boy might have an opportunity to get his sentence reversed. And people say, why? Evidence is strong. The witnesses, were very powerful, but the judge made a very vital error. She made a vital error, and that's not heeding to the COVID, not mandate, but recommendations. Now, if you have a defendant that would want to testify, but he's feared of coming into the courtroom because of COVID protocol, then that might be an issue. And from the lawyers I've spoken to, they're saying that it could be a reversible error by the judge. She could have simply waited and held the trial off and then came back on a Monday, but she decided she wanted to go forward. Now, plus he has life without. And the courts typically look at those type of sentences much more carefully and look at the facts surrounding the case. And there were a lot of objections, like, for example, the admissibility of certain video evidence. There's three things that stood out for me. People were excluded from the courtroom because they either talked out of line during testimony and or were making noise in the back of the court. So he didn't really have anyone to even speak to his, for him during the end of the trial. And I'm not defending anything that Nature Boy did. As a matter of fact, I saw a lot of weird, sick stuff, and they probably could have got a conviction, even put the case off until Monday. Quite honestly, they could have. If we make all this noise about COVID and people are still locked in place, and not locked in place, but still working from home, still wearing masks. As a matter of fact, Judge Kimberly Adams in Fulton County, the court where Nesto had this bond hearing, she makes people everyone that comes in the court has to wear masks today. They have to wear masks. She doesn't play with the COVID. So if they don't have to look too far to see how other judges are dealing with COVID. And the judge said that he chose not to be there. Well, he didn't really have an option if you look at everything, and especially in light of the fact that people have literally lost jobs because they didn't take the vaccine. They have lost loved ones. So while it didn't seem so significant for the judge for him to exercise that, their lawyers are saying that will probably be why he gets his case reversed. And something else I noticed as well. The day of sentence of the verdict, the judge says to attorney Booker, she says, listen, oh, by the way, CDC has lifted the requirements that was in place the day before. Well, that don't really matter because it was the day before the issue arose, not the day afterwards. So what happened the day before is that issue. So when they, because he's going to file an appeal, so that's where they're going to focus in on, not what happens the next day, because what they knew then, they didn't know the CDC was going to change their restrictions the day afterwards, but it doesn't really matter because he should have been able to decide whether or not he's going to testify. And if he's going to testify, when would it be the safest time for him to testify? Not saying that he could have been doing that The timing seemed perfect for him. The timing seemed perfect. He didn't even come in the courtroom for his. It was pretty cowardice, but they're not so cowardice if you standing on the whole COVID issue. But we're gonna see how that plays out. We're gonna see how that plays out. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that his reason for not showing back up in the courtroom was valid. A 1 if you believe COVID was the reason why he didn't show up, and 2 if you think he was on some BS. But does him being on some BS really matter? Because ultimately the judge made a call. Made a call. He's yeah. Listen, just what I want you to do here. No, listen, for real. This is what I want you guys to do. Remove the disdain you have for this guy. Remove that for a second. Just step back. Just step back and think for a second. Forget if that was even Nature Boy for a second. It's kind of hard because that guy was doing a lot. But just think about 2020 and all the restriction that was happening. Think about the videos of bodies in New York, or the all the death reporting on CNN where they had a ticker of all the people who were dying. Just think about that. Just close your eyes and think not too far. 2020. And then think about how fair you would be if someone said, "Hey, I got COVID." Are you going to be that anxious to be around the person? Because I didn't come back to court after I heard she had the COVID. I wasn't good. No. I wasn't coming back. I'm not vaccinated. I'm not sitting in the court. And I had, in 2021, I had what appeared to be COVID. I didn't have to take shots and all that stuff. I just treated it at home, old home remedies, and that's it. But it didn't feel good. It didn't feel like nothing I ever had. It didn't feel like a cold. It felt weird. It felt like, I can't even describe it. It was just, it's like something. If you ever had COVID, you know what I'm talking about. It didn't feel like anything that I've ever experienced before, and I didn't want it. So if you just remove the disdain and the sickness that it was apparent that was happening with this guy, why couldn't the judge just waited to get it 100% right? She got it. I'm gonna say she got it about, she got a high percentage of it right, but that small piece could just put the case in a tailspin. So I think that he will get a reverse. His case will get reversed, and they may have to retry him, because not allowing someone to testify is crucial in a criminal case. It's just what it is. As much as you said, he got convicted, it went down, but this, this is not the end of the trial, so to speak, because you have 30 days to file a notice of appeal, and then you have 4 years for writ of a habeas corpus. And for those who understand law, that's basically to bring a defendant in front of a judge to see was his detention legal. So it's probably going to take him maybe 2 years to perfect this appeal once he put the notice in of appeal. But he needs a great appellate attorney that will be able to bring in all the data to support his argument, and not being able to testify is a problem. For real. That's just what it is. That's what it is. Those people, the victims, need justice. And they need a judge that will, and I say, listen, I'm not bashing the judge at all, but immediately when I saw him do that, and we're going to play the footage. Let's go. We're going to play the footage, and let's just see how this thing's going to play out. Where's the footage at? Let me see if I have the footage here. Let's see. Let's see here. Come on.
At an Airbnb.
Okay, where?
When I first got there, they were at.
Hold on, guys. Let me go ahead and pull this footage. This is the footage that I don't know if you guys actually get a chance to see all this, but let's see what's going on here. Come on, Judge, what's happening here?
So, yes. Correct. Yes. We'll do it that way. And tell them not to be calling people in the middle of the night. That's absurd. Oh, big mistake. Big mistake. Okay. Okay, here. Miss Holland. Okay.
Okay, this is a hearing with the media. Hold on.
Is that correct?
I did not go there because I wanted to be with Omega. I went there.
Fight, flight, and freeze. Is that something that you find that occurs during the actual assault?
It occurs during the assault and.
We're gonna switch that
Do you
up.
want a copy of this, Judge?
Sure. It's admitted.
Thank you, Judge.
Doesn't go back to the jury, though.
71.
He could have been trying to put some issue in the game, but I don't think the transcript is going to show that perspective.
I believe from your testimony before you had mentioned room or into another room. You
Okay, I'm gonna pull a clip, but
That
I'm gonna pull the clip, and we're gonna come back and play it later. But I don't know how many of you guys saw that exchange with the judge. How many of you guys saw that exchange with the judge? Put a one in the chat if you saw the exchange with the judge and how he was protesting. Because if you haven't seen the exchange with the judge and him, then we'll pull the footage and we'll come back on the next video and show it to you. I don't, because I'm in the courtroom. I don't know what you guys are actually watching because a lot of the footage didn't come out in real time, and I do have all the footage from the trial. For those who want to see a special video just with the trial coverage, gavel to gavel, let me know. Send me a message, and we'll see if we can run it gavel to gavel, uninterrupted. But there's a lot going on here, a lot. And I'm gonna tell you something. I looked at some of his videos, like for example, I looked at a video where it was just disturbing, and about the whole acting about hitting people. Now I saw bruises on some of these ladies' bodies. Like this wasn't acting, and it was very degrading. It was just some crazy stuff that I, none of that stuff he was talking about, in my opinion, held much water. You know why? Because the visuals were there. A lot of stuff didn't come in the trial, but I was able to go look at some of it. And people were sending me links, and I appreciate those who were sending me links because it was pretty disturbing. Hold on. This is not the plat. This is not. Listen, hold on. We want to get you out of here. Hold on. Okay. We're not doing that here. This is not your bulletin board. This is you don't do that over here. This is not for that. So I will delete your comment. I will delete your comment and ban you from the platform if you start doing promotions in the comment sections. You're just going to get banned. Plain and simple. This is not that. Don't do that. Oh, absolutely. No, this guy. Listen, let me tell you something. All I'm saying is the judge should have erred on the side of caution. That's all I'm saying. Err on the side of caution, and so it won't be reversed. She had to know that that's going to be his angle. To like you saw what this guy was doing. How many times he came out? I want to take the plea. I don't want to take the plea. I'm ready to go. I'm not coming out. It was just a, I'm not coming out with the shackles on. Well, sir, you don't run the sheriff department. They want you with shackles. Why? Because you might try to run into nature. You know, he wasn't getting out that building because the elevator system is crazy. Hold on a second. Hold on. I see Galatians. Hold on, Galatians. Hold on a second, Galatians. Hold on. Stand by, guys. Guys, I want you to stand by. We're gonna take a 5 minute break. I gotta go ban a few people. I want you just to take a stand by. I'll be back in 3 minutes. I'm just gonna ban some people off the platform, and then we'll be back. Hey, so Galatians, thank you very much. Appreciate the super chat. Uh Now those who are saying that Nature Boy has said things about COVID in his videos, you have to remember those videos never got in as evidence. So that's immaterial right now. Just think about it. Think about the things that you've seen him do on the internet, that the videos that never made it into the trial. Even if he said his protests against COVID and him being kicked out of countries because he violated certain things, guess what? Doesn't matter. What matters is what happened during the trial in the most pivotal, crucial moment for his side. The analysts on court TV are right, in my opinion, because that is a reversible error. It's not like a small thing, it's a big thing. And whatever disdain you have for him, you still got to follow the law and you got to err on the side of caution. And I have to say this, when the judge asks members of the press not to report that she has COVID, that only bolsters what I believe she felt that she might have made a mistake. Not made a mistake, but when you ask members of the press not to really report you got COVID, which certain members of the press did, but they reached out to me and said, well, you shouldn't really say the judge. What are we talking about? We report when the president is reported to have COVID. Judges are not immune to things that they make public. As I said earlier, I'm not a extension of your PR team or your crisis management team. If you share that to the media, you cannot then say, don't report it. Because that's an abuse of your power. Because you don't, it's like, I think, we're going to let you come in and record or shoot it, but you're going to have to do certain, no, we're not doing that, Donna. We're going to follow the Constitution. We're going to follow the First Amendment, and it's the freedom of press. And if you have COVID and the defendant in the case is saying on the record that poses a problem for him, you can't say you can say it, but to tell him he's voluntarily not being present for his trial is not actually accurate. Is it a ploy on his part? It really doesn't matter. The judge makes the call. She's the referee. She made the call. And it'll probably get reversed because it's not a little thing. Him testifying, him being there to confront his accusers, it's significant. And the jury, the whole thing's messed up because now the jury sees an empty seat. The jurors don't know that because of the judge never told the jurors he's not here because she has COVID. That was never shared with the jurors. Because now the jurors can look at him slightly different, not so much, but they can say, well, this makes sense why he's not here. Not that he may have been bucking the system and being disrespectful. That's why he's not there. So all I'm saying is pundits who are saying that this is a reversible error in the legal community, it's probably right. It's probably right. And you might not like that, but that's not your fault. That's not your fault. That's the judge. She made the call. Now the higher court is going to have to look at everything. But he better get a good appeals attorney. You don't get no rinky dink. Don't get just a regular attorney. You get someone their specialty is filing the appeals. That's all I'm saying. Find your lawyer. They can argue that the prosecutor will probably argue to the appellate court or their team, their appeals. They're gonna have They have appeals team in the DA's office, and they're probably going to raise the issues of some of the things he was doing as far as trying to fire his attorney. But it doesn't really matter. They're going to look at that moment in time when the judge said, and it's right there in the videos. They're going to look at the footage. The footage is right there. It's available. So we'll see. We'll have to see. Once again, Galatians, appreciate that super chat. Let's see here what we got going on here. Okay, hold on. Can someone tell me what the heck is bingo? Because I saw that Bigo. I don't know what Bigo is. I'm clueless to Bigo, but what the heck is Bigo? What is Bigo? Because people were coming from Bigo over to the platform. I don't know what Bigo is. What's Bigo? I don't know what Bigo is. Let's see. So the prior arrest, someone asked the question about prior arrest. They didn't mention that, which don't really matter because these charges are so serious. It wouldn't matter anyway because they found him guilty on all these counts, and there's a mandatory sentence. His lawyer, I think his lawyer is court appointed. I think his lawyer is court appointed because the the fact of the matter is he's had several lawyers. Okay, is it something? Well, I don't want to ask too much about Bigo right now. Right? They're not paying me to promote their platform. Let's see here. Okay, listen, I'm gonna drop the link in the chat. And if you want to talk about any one of the topics that we've been discussing, pull up, pull up, pull up. Here we go. The link is there. You're able to click on the link. Hold on, let me just put it out there. Put it right there. Boom. Click on the link. You want to come in. Let's talk about any one of these cases that we've been discussing. Nesto, Young Thug trial, or Nature Boy. We can talk about it. We can talk about it. Also, okay. Okay, so I get it. That's the app that they use. Hmm, interesting. Does Nature Boy still have a big following? I guess that's another question. Is this following really big? Does he really have a big following? Even now, since he's been arrested, does he have a big following? Really? I also learned that everyone's speaking out now, even the victim. She's done a live and she's talking about the case already. Um, so she's really not trying to be in seclusion. She's talking about it. She's very outspoken about it. So this is why we're going to play the video in its entirety, different parts of the trial, because they're all speaking out. This is, the trial's over with. They're speaking out. I mean, it's not like anyone's trying to be shielded at this point. Um, and I'm making that call based on the person uh, is speaking out. Unlike when I covered the R. Kelly case, a lot of them haven't done interviews. We still haven't heard anything from some of the accusers in that case. So for that reason, and then plus it was a federal court, and nothing's recorded in federal court. But in this case, they're all talking. They're all talking. We saw the post trial pre-sentencing, I guess, impact statements that were given on Friday. So I don't know. I think we need to just look at the case, start to finish, gavel to gavel, and just unpack and analyze. And we know what didn't get in. Do you think the wives who testified on behalf of Nature Boy really helped his case? What did they harm his case? Because I'm seeing all kinds of, man, they helped it, they harmed it. I don't know. Again, you have to know the backstory. And from what I've seen, some of the same people that were speaking for him on the stand were sitting by while others were getting abused or berated, and just weird. It was just a lot of weird stuff happening there. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. A wife is in jail for flying a drone? Huh? No way. I know they're not stupid like that. No, come on, don't tell me that. Don't tell me I got to pull the reports. Uh, Rhonda, it's I say it's highly likely, but again, uh, hold on a second, guys. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let me say something. This is I'm being disrespected right now. I'll tell you why. I tell you why. Crystal, if you're watching, I got your text message. So, Crystal, my partner in crime, another journalist, and her husband is challenging me to a cook-off. They literally challenging me to a cook-off. And that's a problem because those who know me for many years know I love cooking. I love cooking. So now we're going to have to do a real man cook. So it's going to be her husband against me. And I'm going to pick some of my followers. We're going to have a location and a tasting in Georgia, in Atlanta. And I want you guys to come out and see who really is the king of cooking. I'm just getting she sent me a picture of food. The picture's mid. I'm not impressed. This is the plating is not even satisfactory, Crystal. The plating is not satisfactory. How you gonna show me sweet potatoes with the butter is not even melted on the potato? This is not Crystal. This is not what I'm talking about. You gotta have nice plating and everything. They want to challenge me. I'm gonna have to pick. Listen, I'm picking. See, the thing is, she wants to be able to be the judge, and her husband challenging me. I said, no, 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 no. We need independent people. We blindfolding them. We're gonna put the plate in front of them, and they're gonna taste the food, and they're gonna say who's the best, and we're gonna use a number system. We're gonna turn. He challenged me today, and now I take the challenge. I take the challenge. We're gonna do 3 dishes. I don't know if I desserts. My desserts are okay. I bake a cake too now. No, listen, I'm old school. So you guys, let me say, oh, he bakes a cake. No, yeah, I'm old school. I know how to bake cakes and pies too. Mama taught me well. I take the challenge, CJ. I take the challenge. See, the thing is, if I can't tell you guys what's on the menu just yet, because you'll probably sending the recipes, your favorite recipe to my competitor. Now we're gonna come in. We got 3 dishes, and I promise you, I've tried them on people already, and they love it. They love it. I do no pork dishes. I do no pork, and most of it is organic. I literally go to the farmer's market and pick my vegetables, my seasonings, everything. He don't want this. He's probably shopping at Kroger's or Walmart to get his. Now let me. I'll be nice. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be nice. Um, Free Dom who lied. Hold on a second. Hold on. Right. Don't hate on a man who bakes. And then, listen, I'm gonna tell you something. If you taste my pineapple upside down cake, let me tell you something. I throw it down. Or my strawberry cake, I throw it down. And we ain't talking 2 layers. We talking 3 and 4 layers. Stack, bang, icing it, bang, pineapple, ooh, in the middle, pineapple, you don't want that. You don't want that. Even thugs need hugs. You don't want that. Right. Y'all be thinking listen, can bring a witness right now and tell you, yo, whew. I just try to spare people. I spare people. I don't want the basic. When I come over, I don't want basic. I want you to do something special. I don't want the basic stuff the basic food. Just name a basic dish. I don't do basic dishes. I don't. Hey, Rhonda, hold on, Rhonda, hold on. Ask me the question after you taste the dish. Ask me the question after you taste the dish. My grandfather loved cooking. Rest his soul. Loved cooking. My grandmother loved cooking. I used to watch him cook. I used to sit right in the kitchen, be hungry as I'm watching them cook. They go out the kitchen. I go sample the food. This thing's still raw. Confession time. Boy, I tell you, I couldn't wait. I used to have to sample the cooking. She used to make the succotash. I don't know what you know what succotash is. You probably don't know what succotash is. But it's lima beans and corn. But they used to, anyway, I'm having flashbacks. Let me be nice. Listen, you guys want to come up here and talk about these 3 cases? We can talk about Nesto. We can talk about Thugger. We can talk about Nature Boy. It's your flavor. What do you mean, what difference is X now? What are you talking about? What difference is X now? What are you talking about here? Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. You gotta be in Atlanta. As a matter of fact, hold on a second. Hold on a second here. I'm putting on blast right now. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all gonna witness me putting someone on blast right now. I'm putting her on blast right now. She tried me just now. Hold on, guys. Hold on. She tried me here. She probably ain't gonna answer.
Hello.
Crystal.
Yeah.
Hi. You are live, and you sent me a picture of the food. We are live. I got everyone listening. I mean, we're gonna talk about your plating, but I accept you and your husband's challenge. I accept it.
My plating was not the best. Okay.
No, the plating wasn't the best, but I accept your challenge. You might as well I dropped the link. You might as well come up, bring the husband up, because we're talking about you on live right now.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I accept the challenge, but you can't be sending me pictures like this one to challenge me. You can't do that. Did your husband make this? Because the meat looked dry. Did your husband? Is this what he's challenged with? Is this supposed to bait me out there in the public? No, this is not doing it. The picture's on the internet. I posted the picture.
Oh my God. Oh my God. You know what?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is what you want to challenge me with. You got to come better than this.
I'm not doing this with you. I cannot believe he did that. I cannot believe he did that.
So what do we call this plate? I don't know. I can make out the sweet potato, but what is this other stuff? That's not roadkill, is it? What the? What are you sending me pictures of roadkill for? Crystal, you see that link there? Click on that link. Click on the link, Crystal. Come on.
I'm not clicking on any links.
Dennis, let me tell you something.
Guys, listen, this is the husband to challenge me. He sent me a picture of roadkill. Go ahead. Adrian, go ahead, Adrian.
Dennis,
Yes, sir.
Dennis, let me tell you something. It may be roadkill in your book, right? But that roadkill tastes a whole lot better than any hot dog that you can throw in the microwave.
See, guys, this is big talk. See, when I finish them off with my dish, it's over. So this is, ladies and gentlemen, when we do the cook off, I'm inviting 3 lucky people we're gonna do a tasting. And don't go to the local restaurant, because I know all the restaurants got the, I know you're gonna probably visit one of the restaurants and get one of it to go. Now we need to see this cooked in front of me. You see, guys, see, you got quiet there. You see,
Dennis.
Sauteed broccoli. It was sauteed broccoli, Dennis.
Sauteed. Well, hold on. That's sauteed broccoli. I thought that was burnt spinach. Hold on. Let me look at that picture. Guys, click on the link, man. We live, man. We live. We got them laughing a little bit. We live.
That's the link right here. Look, let me tell you something, Dennis.
Drop the photos, man. Drop the photos. Drop the photos. Drop the photos.
Oh! Chrome. What's the problem?
Okay, listen. I gotta get back to my show, guys.
Dennis, I'm coming.
I gotta get back to my show. All right, guys, listen. My friends sometimes challenge me. Okay, let's see. No, but I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, another trial that I will be covering would be ASAP Rocky in Los Angeles. He goes on trial for the shooting. Unless he takes a plea, this thing is going to trial. I don't know how this is going to look. The last time someone went to trial in Los Angeles on a gun case, they got 10 years. Tory Lanez got 10 years. I'm reading the comments, man. It's funny. So ASAP Rocky trial is, I think it's going to happen. Hold on, guys. Listen, this is what I got to deal with. This is what I got to do. Hold on. Let me hit that. Come on.
Sit up.
Hey, Adrian. Don't be sending me no roadkill, Adrian.
Look, let me tell you something, Dennis. I'm gonna explain this to you real. I'm gonna explain this to you real easy, right? Where are you from?
You know where I'm from, New York.
No, you from New York, right? Dude, if you're not below the Mason-Dixon line, you don't even stand a chance. You understand me?
Well, considering my grandparents were, and they taught me.
No.
They taught
We're
me
not.
well.
We're not talking about your grandparents. We're talking about you.
Oh,
We're talking about you, Dennis.
Listen.
We're not talking about anything else.
Listen, I'm gonna post this picture, man. I didn't post yet, but this picture look kind of. Let me see. I put some Photoshop and lighten it up a little bit.
Dennis, it sounds like you're a little jealous right now.
Your chocolate, listen, your chocolate grill works. I can see that. I can see the chocolate all over the beat.
Well, first of all, that wasn't even on the grill.
It wasn't.
It wasn't even on the grill.
You mean tell me you turned the fire that high?
See, I'm gonna let you have it because this is your show, right?
Listen,
I'm gonna let you have it.
I'm gonna tell you something. You don't have to put paprika on the steak. It browns. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna give you a little.
I'm listening. Go ahead. Teach me, old wise one.
Let me ask you. Did you use? Let me ask you. Did you use
emphasizing old wise one?
Did you use Crisco oil on the? Wait a minute. You cooked that steak with lard?
Nope. I did not. I did not.
He's out of control.
I know he on one tonight. You on one tonight.
Well, let me ask you a question. No, serious. Do you put the gravy on it before you cook it, or and then you brown it? Let me. I'm just trying to figure out your style, your technique. How did you get that steak dark like that?
Let me tell you something. You stay on that side over there, and I stay on this side over here, right? And
Now I
then
need to see when you're cooking that. Listen, and you might have one. Wait a minute. Do you have one of those big series? What's those ovens? Those really big series ovens where you can just put the meat in and just burns like that?
nope.
Not according to that picture.
Dennis, that sounds like you're hating a little bit. Because I'm
Hold
gonna
on,
tell you like this.
hold
Listen,
on. I'm gonna post the picture. Hold on, guys. I'm
I
gonna post the picture. You guys, hold on. Just don't go nowhere, Adrian. Don't go nowhere. Adrian, do not go nowhere, Adrian. I'm gonna stay right here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna post the picture. Okay, hold a second. Hold a second. You'll tell me. I'm gonna post this right now. Tell me if this is okay. I'm gonna post this picture. You'll tell me what you think. This is what I got here.
It's my plating. I should have
Oh,
known.
no, hold on. I'm gonna get this. No. We don't forget the plating. Don't copy plea now. Don't do that. Here we go. I want the public to be the judge. I'm about to post this picture. Hold on. I'll post this here right now. Hold on. Pull this up right here. Right here. Boom. There
the
we go.
public is waiting there.
They're gonna be okay. Wait, they're about to be okay when they see this picture here. Hold a second here.
Why can't I want to see some comments. What are comments at?
Don't worry about that. What you gonna get as soon as I post this picture?
No, I want to see the comments. What?
Can't, baby, can't.
Oh, I can't. All right.
Oh, here we go. Is that it? Yeah, I'm posting right now. Here we go. So this is the color of the steak here, ladies and gentlemen.
No.
This is it.
Post the whole picture.
This is what ladies and gentlemen, this is what I'm dealing with here, guys. This is what I'm dealing with here, right here. But let me ask you a question. I don't want to pull the rest of the pictures up.
You wild, Dennis. You wild for that.
Dennis,
For that.
Dennis.
Hold on. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we have here. That's it. He's challenging me. This is it. This is his steak. And I'm gonna show you a picture of my steak. Well, pause. Oh my God! Listen. When they say you don't want to smoke, they really mean you don't want to smoke.
Look, let me tell you something, Dennis.
I'm listening. I'm listening. Go ahead. I'm listening. You ain't got nothing to say? I'm listening. Oh my God. Not standing chance. He didn't stand a chance. Listen, this is what he don't want this. He don't want the smoke. He might bring the smoke with his cooking, but he don't want the smoke. I can't hear you. Talk up.
Can you hear me now? Oh, okay. I want all that smoke, goddammit. Look, let me tell you something, Dennis.
Hey, Kristen, hold on. I can't hear you, man. It sounds bad. Something's wrong with the sound. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what's wrong with the sound. They challenged me. They don't want this. I'll talk to you guys later. It looks quite dry. Hey, listen, I know they're going to get me back. But it's all good. So, listen, I gave you guys the opportunity to join the conversation. I appreciate you Sunday. I got some cooking to do. And I will post the picture of my cooking. This is a guy who wants to challenge me. That steak did not have a chance. I'm surprised they didn't call the fire department. But anyway, that's for another conversation. I know they're going to get me for this one, but it's this is war. You challenge me to a cook-off. This is war. I see. I had a few things. I have a special lobster dish. Then I have a special Tuscan pasta dish. with shrimp, and I have a few different dishes. I don't want to tip my opponent because he may show up with the same dish, but it really wouldn't matter because you got to taste. You got to taste it. Listen, hit me in the on the DM on Instagram. I'm gonna give you guys the date, and we're gonna have a cook off. It's going down, and I'm going to listen. Win, lose, or draw. Win, lose, or draw. It's going down. Oh, my mac. You don't want to taste my mac and cheese lobster dish. Ooh, you don't want that. I don't think they're ready for that. I don't think they're ready for that. I don't think they're ready for that. They ain't ready for that. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate you guys coming on. Make sure, yeah, don't tell, right. They want me to tell the secrets, and I'm not telling the secrets. As a matter of fact, I don't want to watch my recipes. Let me drop that picture again. One more time so you'll know what I'm dealing with. Hold on here. Let me drop that picture one more time. Now, did that steak have a chance? Did that steak have a chance? Just imagine you try and put your knife on that. And what's up with the little green? Wait, that's not plating. This is not plating. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I can't do this with my folks. All right, let me get that picture out of here. Are you going to challenge me with peanut butter? Don't listen. The jerk oxtails. You don't want. Don't. I get down. I really get down. I really get down. I get down. I can do chicken, oxtails, or salmon. It doesn't really matter. You guys see my cabinet? You'll see my cabinet. I have 3 cabinets of seasonings, and sometimes just need a little special, little, I do all that. No, listen. This is when when my opponent challenges me. You better bring your milk of magnesia because you're probably going to need it. All right, guys. I appreciate you. Have a happy Sunday. It was nice. I really do appreciate you guys coming in. Uh, we'll just see. We'll let you guys know how it turned out. We'll let you know the date. But until then, I'm out.